some of the images. I mean, I found myself looking at some of that shit just going, damn. And it's not the first time you've seen it. But it's like the first time you saw it. It's just as visceral. As you know, I went to the Uncle Tom Part 2 premiere this past Friday in Dallas, Texas. What an event. Here's the cover here. Got a free copy. That guy on the cover, that's Chad Jackson. I guess you call him the main character. The film, I'm going to try not to give too much of it away because you should see it. It's different than the first one. It's going to challenge some things that you thought you knew. There were some things that I just knew for sure. Fire's hot, puppies are cute. This thing was the way it was, but it's not. And I almost felt dumb. I felt taken, I felt had, I felt bamboozled because I believed it. I've been believing this shit all of my life. What I'm going to talk about, I've been believing it my whole life. I never questioned it.
And so it has been. Divide the people. Get them fighting among themselves.
Uncle Tom 2 unveils the Marxist strategy of creating false racial tension between Americans, with its ultimate goal of obtaining power, destroying capitalism, and replacing God with government. Not nairn word of that is untrue. That's exactly what we're dealing with now. This is communism by 1,000 cuts. We didn't notice it till now. It's been going on for a long time.
Who our major enemy is.
Uncle Tom 2, An American Odyssey. Just coming in at just under 2 hours. Every scene, it's just a home run. Every single one. All the voiceovers, the interviews, the footage. Let's talk about the footage first. Because a lot of the footage from this were old pictures. Black people being prosperous, happy, successful. Black families. Everybody was in suits. Everybody dressed nice and respectful, had dignity, pride, hats, ties, dresses. Women were women. And those images were juxtaposed with footage of what is called Black culture today. The foul mouths, the violence, the drug use, the dilapidated neighborhoods. They have to hide these images of successful Black people, these successful Black towns, entire towns. Everybody in that town, it was self-sufficient. It took care of itself. Everybody had a job. Everybody did something and contributed to that society. Everybody looked out for each other. Everybody held everybody else to a higher standard, your appearance, the way you act. But if you hide those images from people, they'll never know any better. When you hide those images from people, they start to believe they can never be shit. But when you see these images and you read the real history, see, I don't have a problem with the real history of America. Tell all of it. We need to know all of it. Knowledge is power. But in all of it, that also means show me the greatness that my people were part of. Show me the wonderful things we did for this country, in this country. Some of the images they showed in that documentary, I was embarrassed to watch in front of white people. Nigga this and nigga that. Oh, fucked up, violent neighborhoods. Airbrush t-shirts. Lil so-and-so, rest in power. We came from that to this. My dad would call that going from sugar to shit. We had the success. We were doing better before the civil rights movement. You know, you always hear about redlining. Oh, they wouldn't let Black people buy houses in certain areas. Well, guess what? If you have your own, you don't need to.
This administration today, here and
Lyndon
now,
Baines Johnson, he said, I'll have these niggas voting Democrat for the next 200 years. And that's the man who was pushing it. He signed it. We were doing better before government intervention. We were doing better as slaves. Oh, I know. What a sellout. What a coon. What an Uncle Tom. What a bootlicker. Fuck you. It's called the truth. People, there were Black slave owners. They don't want to tell you that. They want to tell you that the white man, every white person in America owned a Negro. Black people owned slaves too. Indians owned slaves too. It wasn't just the blue-eyed devil. There were some brown-eyed devils too. But they can't tell you that. If they tell you you're up here with everybody else, then you got to start acting like it. And there's no room for victimhood up here. There's no room for blaming on the white man up here. There's no room for unarmed black people getting shot up here. There's no room for I can't go for a jog or I get killed up here. All we got up here is work and prosperity and success. Expectations are everything. But those images were so damn powerful. And it's not like you've never seen them before, but you have to see them in this kind of context. Everybody needs to see this movie. It's good for everybody. Because it's about everybody. Because we're all living in this shit right now. We're all affected by it. So it's for all of us. That movie was awesome. When you watch this movie, some of the things you learn, you're like,
there is no country in this world that a black person would rather be.
There were a few moments in that documentary I was like, what?
Don't spread the rumor throughout the world that Negroes are kept in ignorance because of prejudiced white people and all of that propaganda.
Another thing that was covered in the movie was Marxism, communism, socialism. It all equals death.
It ends with tens of millions of people dead.
Mass graves filled with tens of millions of people who are prosperous and happy at one point.
Ideological subversion is to change the perception of reality.
There was a clip in there where this former Russian KGB officer,
That despite of the abundance of information,
he's talking about how this has been Russia's plan forever to tear down America from the inside. It's the only way you can bring down something so big and so powerful, from the inside. And they've been doing it for years, and now it's working. They talked about at length about Booker T. Washington. Everybody needs to know about him. But years ago, he talked about the fact that there are people in the Negro race who benefit from there always being some strife, some upheaval, a problem, a grievance. We can't just be successful and be happy and be quiet like everybody else. There's always got to be some shit going on. There's always got to be a problem. Fellas, you ever date a woman like that where there's always some drama? That shit gets old quick, doesn't it? They had some clips in there, and I'm not even giving you that much of this. So much in this documentary. But they had footage of black women who went down to the welfare office because their EBT cards hadn't been reloaded. This one bitch sat there and said with a straight face that my baby hasn't eaten since this morning. Because you're so dependent on the government that you don't feed your baby unless the government gives you the means. Awesome film. Everybody needs to watch it. You will learn something. Martin Luther King was a detriment to black people. He didn't help us in any way. Black folks were doing fine. They had jobs and communities and tight-knit families. Big families. There wasn't a 50-50 chance that a black child would get aborted or be born back then. They were born. Every Sunday, families got together because family is important. Family is the foundation for everything. It's the source of our success. If the family breaks down, we break down. Broken homes give us broken people. Man, I'm watching that shit again. Some parts I was just like, and when they show what our culture is now, it's disgusting. There were no retarded bees back then. There was no Lizzo who was being celebrated for being 400 pounds. Yes, queen, body positivity. Yes, you can be positive that your ass is going to be in the grave early. When did we start celebrating death? When did we start championing and highlighting and promoting death? Our own death, not the death of somebody else, our own. Every rap album should be titled Kill Me, Kill Us, Kill, 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 Murder. When did that shit happen? When the civil rights movement came in and they broke down the family. And another reason that this shit is important to everybody, because this breakdown of the black family creates the people that are fucking this country up right now. Creates the people who are smashing and grabbing. Summer of 2020, BLM. It talked about those sorry bitches too. Those 3 black angry lesbians who started BLM and the fucker who trained them. They admit I have Marxist training. And they talk about who Karl Marx is and what he wanted to do. Destroy religion and the family. That's the udder that they suckled from. So of course that's who they are. Of course that's what they want to do. Uncle Tom 2 really delved into Marxism and communism to let you know the origins of this shit. I can't wait to see what part 3 is going to have. I hope I'm in it. Wouldn't that be something? If they put me in Uncle Tom part 3, I'm going to come in here with big old sunglasses, a fur coat. I'm going to change. I'm just kidding. I hope I did that movie justice, giving you my thoughts on it, my review. In a nutshell, it's awesome. It's great. It should be viewed by everybody. They need to play Uncle Tom 2 like they do CNN. Just have it on everywhere. Airports, restaurants, whatever. Anywhere there's a TV, they need to be playing that shit. Because that's powerful information for all of us.
To be more specific.
Don't think that because it's a black cast, that there's a black man on the cover, that myself and other black conservatives went to it. Don't think it's not for everybody. Because it is. Because it's about the America that we all share. And we're all affected by our actions. So yeah, everybody needs to see this shit. Powerful.